Hello there everyone and welcome back to Let's 9-Day Pikmin. Today is a special day. Why, you might ask? Well, it's the first day where we're going to use all three colors of Pikmin in the same army. I technically did have all colors on the first day here in Forest Naval, but I didn't pull out the yellows until the very end, and they were alone and I didn't actually manage to do anything with them because I ran out of time. So I don't really want to count that, but at the same time I don't want to not acknowledge that I had all colors on that day. Something along those lines. I'm going to need 15 yellows, 20 blues, and the rest are just red, because red is a really good color on this map. In this level. What do you call these? In this area. Just because of all the fire. Actually, I haven't been using reds at all since the first day here in Forest Naval. At least I don't think so. Also, I throw a Pikmin right there and then I get confused because I have 99 Pikmin. Thanks. Short-term memory losses? Well, I don't know. I find it silly that I would lose track of a Pikmin immediately after throwing it, but whatever. We're going to be going through this gate that I broke down on the first day when I went to get the one in the water and tripping Pikmin. There's a lot of one Pikmin moments on this day, but not all of them are really worthy of mention. So I'm not sure what I'll do about those. Right now I just need 20 red Pikmin to go with the 20 blue Pikmin I have, and the rest of the reds and the yellows that I throw for whatever reason. I guess I just like throwing yellow Pikmin because they go so far up in the... so far up in the air. I was going to say far up in the sky, but that seemed a little extreme. But anyway, I need these 20 blue Pikmin to go pick up the analog computer. And there's a one Pikmin moment here. There was a Pikmin that tripped back here, and because of how the dismiss mechanic finds a point between the Pikmin, some of the Pikmin didn't go onto the analog computer. That's just a little stupid. Now, if you were to go up that ramp, right there on the bottom of the screen, there would be a flower up there called a red candy pop bat, and you can use that to turn other colors of Pikmin into red Pikmin. There's obviously one for each color of Pikmin. But I've experimented as in I tried it once, to just take the 20 blue Pikmin and then turn them into red Pikmin after they got the thing out of the water. But then by the time I got back to the bridge, it was completed and it just seemed to take a while. I don't really know how much time it takes in comparison. I'm not the kind of guy who experiments a lot with that, but I just decided to do it this way. I'll get to show off the candy pop bat tomorrow, gameplay wise, as in the 8th day. Saying tomorrow in a video is kind of, is this real time tomorrow or game time tomorrow? I don't know. This bridge is taking forever. And I was a little bored, playing around with both the whistle and the camera. But anyway, so this ship piece is special, in a way. You need all three colors of Pikmin to get it. Or, you don't so much need the red Pikmin, it's just getting any other color of Pikmin through all of those fire geysers. It's more trouble than it's worth. So you might as well say that you need red Pikmin for it. But it does make it one of the cooler items to get. Really. But that pretty much does it for the first two pieces. And the two pieces down here. So now, as I wait for the Pikmin that tripped on the bridge, goddammit Pikmin, they seem to trip a lot in this video. I don't know what's up with that. And there's that one bad Pikmin that is just falling behind all the time. He's the slow guy in the group. He can't help it. Anyway, now I'm going to start working on what I was going to try and do at the end of the first day in this area. That whole first day in this area, but not the first day overall, is kind of confusing me. I don't know how confusing it is to you, but it's a little confusing to me. But anyway, there's this... Actually there's these two walls right here. Normally, people don't really bother breaking down these walls. But I figured I'd do it. Also, why did those Pikmin decide to go away from the wall? And why didn't that one Pikmin decide to help out? Also, the reason I'm stalling a bit right there is to make sure that those shear wakes don't go for the Pikmin at the wall. Like I said before, you don't have to worry about leaving Pikmin behind, but since they were out of the ground, I want to make sure. But, like I promised, I'm going to show off where this geyser goes to. I didn't know it myself at the time and I was pretty excited, so I'm sorry Pikmin, but my planet needs me! Yeah. I have no idea what the purpose of that geyser is. But it sent you flying, so I guess that is pretty great. So anyway, we're going to need all of the bombs. All 15 bombs. It's quite convenient. What is not so convenient is that there's a Pikmin that doesn't have a bomb. I'm having one of those "are you serious" game moments. Like, I can see a bomb sticking through the pipe. And that a Pikmin picked up. Pikmin are really bad at picking up bombs. It seems like they just give up for no good reason. Pikmin do that a lot. It's part of their AI. Part of their terrible AI. Yes. And the same thing that I explained in the Forest of Hope yesterday, I guess you could say. You need to touch Pikmin with your body after you throw them, if they're holding bombs. You can actually see that they don't have that glow around their flower. So that's like your indication that if you call them with your whistle, they're going to drop the bomb. Now we're just working our way up to this wall right here. And a lot of people probably know what is behind this wall. Now the most annoying thing about this wall is probably that fire geyser right in front of it. I have had some crazy stuff happen with that geyser because I did bad timing. It wasn't pretty. And that wall finished right on time. Right on time. I was about to go all the way around, but then it finished and just go through. Also, it looks like I finally realized that thing with throwing the Pikmin just normally and they would all drop their bombs. So this is the point where I stopped being an idiot. Basically. That's pretty much the gist of the point. I don't know. At the very least, both of the ship pieces are now back in the ship. So I don't have to I don't have to worry about getting interrupted during the boss fight, which is pretty great. I hate getting interrupted during a boss fight. It's one of the more annoying things. Oh, did I say boss fight? I guess that kinda spoils what is in here. Oh well. I'm sure most people know about BD Longlegs. He's kind of an iconic boss of this game. More so than the final boss. More so than any other enemy. For some reason, people really love BD Longlegs. I guess it's because most of the time his main body is way too far up for you to throw blue and red Pikmin on him. So yellow Pikmin are very effective. And also the fact that having a big army is just going to get a lot of Pikmin killed because they're going to spread out a lot. So that is why I'm fighting him with 15 yellow Pikmin. Now, another thing I'd like to mention about him, you can see I'm having a bit of trouble calling the Pikmin that are lying underneath him. And that's because since the Pikmin on the body are right above those Pikmin, I called them as well, as you saw right there. So that's kind of inconvenient, but if you know what you're doing, this guy is really easy. Really not a problem. But I wouldn't really have had a problem with losing Pikmin to him, because, well, I don't really need the yellow Pikmin anymore. I know that's a cruel thing to say, but they're not needed anymore. Simple as that. And again, there's fire geysers in the way, so red Pikmin for the carrying. The red Pikmin are carrying the team, pretty much. I actually find that kind of a jerk move from a game design standpoint. That boss is best fought with yellow Pikmin, but if you try to carry the ship piece with yellow Pikmin, they're just going to die. That's a jerk move. Screw you, Nintendo. You suck. Just kidding. It's a weird thing, but at the same time it does like promote using different colors of Pikmin, I guess, in some way. Maybe. And of course, I had 15 yellow Pikmin, but I only had 14 right there because one of them decided to help on the God satellite. I guess that's not really a problem. The Pikmin can't really help that he was one of the 10 Pikmin that got to help with it. But it's kind of funny that exactly one yellow Pikmin got to help. And because of that I have to go over to the yellow onion again. I don't know. That is just the kind of annoying funny. You can see I'm a bit confused over having 21. But then I realized, oh yeah, there was a yellow on that thing. But you might be wondering, I got all the ship pieces, so what am I doing right now? Well, I guess it's not much of a spoiler to say that on the next day, the entire army is going to consist of blue Pikmin. So, getting all of the blue Pikmin flowered up and ready to go is just something I decided to do, pretty much. And jump cuts. Speaking of jump cuts, my dad came home during those last 2 minutes, so I had to stop the recording of the post commentary. And since I recorded all of the other commentary, I figured out what caused that problem. Really, it was just me not knowing what I was doing. So it'll be fixed for all future videos. But this video doesn't make a whole lot of sense if I don't have the jump cuts, so yeah. I'm leaving it in. Because I'm lazy. And I don't want to make myself look like an idiot by saying jump cut and then nothing happens. Pretty much. But I'm ready to take on Distant Spring Day 2. Day 8. Did I ever decide on a good way to do that? I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while since I actually recorded the previous commentary for this video, so I'm not sure if I figured something out. It's not really worth figuring something out if I just forget it anyway. Olimar is done making discoveries, so now he's just figuring out how the mechanics of this game works. Took him a while, but can you really blame the guy? He has the brain size of P, or maybe even smaller. I don't know how big Olimar and the Pikmin are supposed to be, compared to human size, but they're pretty damn small. So his brain might even just be the size of a rice. I don't know. Either way, I'll see you back next day in the distant spring.